Hello everyone, this is Grumpy Gamer and welcome to my tour of my Tekkit world. Some of you may or may not be familiar with Tekkit. I actually mean this for both people. I'm going to explain a little bit about what Tekkit is, so if you've never played Tekkit, this video will be a good introduction. But if you had played Tekkit, this will just be a good tour of what I've built, so if you just want to see something somebody else built. But this thing you're looking at right now, this is called a quarry. Now what this thing does, if you watch it, there's a bit right there. I'm pointing right at it. It's mining up blocks, and so right now I just build this big old thing and it collects all the blocks down in this pit. It's actually what you've seen here. It dug all this out. It takes it many hours to dig all the way down to bedrock, but it will dig down to bedrock, and it's collecting all these blocks. And I actually don't have to build this big elaborate thing. All I build is this thing down here. I build this block right here. Now I place this block down and then give electricity to it, and it constructs all the frame and all this stuff itself. Now there's actually a lot of machinery to make this work, but it's just located at another place. So right here you can see some pipe. There's pipes coming in, pipes coming out. Over here on the left side, this is where the electricity comes in. That's what that blue beam is. That's electricity. This pipe here at the very end, this is called well, first of all, this type of pipe is called conductive pipe. But this blue block right here, this reddish blue one, this is called a teleport pipe. And what it's doing is there's some engines way off in the distance that generate this electricity, and this electricity gets teleported to here, and it powers up the quarry. Now here on the other side, we have something called transport pipe. This transports around blocks, so you can see blocks coming out of the quarry. All this stuff this thing is mining down there, it's coming out right here, and it's going through this teleport pipe. Now if I click on a teleport pipe, you can see this isn't as complicated as it looks. It has to do right here. It says frequency. Any teleport pipe connected to frequency 5, which is what this is set to, will be connected to this pipe. And use these numbers right here just to set the frequency. And right here there's a switch. You can set it to receive true or false. Now all that does, it determines whether this is an input pipe or an output pipe. This is an output pipe. All this stuff's being outputted to this pipe. So next I'm going to show you where all these raw materials are going. It's not too far off in the distance. Just over this little hill right here. Now a little bit more explanation about what Tekkit is. Tekkit is a group of mods. There's like 40 or 50 mods, and they're all grouped together. And all you have to do to run these 40 or 50 mods is download the Tekkit launcher, and I'll put a link to it in the description. But it's very simple. If you own Minecraft, you'll just go to this website, download the launcher, and then you'll just, instead of launching the Minecraft launcher, you'll launch the Tekkit launcher, and it will automatically load up Minecraft with all these 40 or 50 mods. Okay, right here we see this is my sorting machine. It's taking all these blocks that are being quarried up or mined up, whatever, and it sends them to this contraption. Right here you see a teleport pipe. If you remember from a while ago, this one right here, frequency 5, and we have it can receive, and we set that to true, so that makes this an input pipe. It's receiving all the blocks from the quarry. They go in here. They're a little bit hard to see because they move so fast, but you can see them moving right there. Now all this contraption does sorts the blocks by categories, and some blocks I don't want at all. Like if I click here, these 4 types of block here, let me explain how this works. This pipe right here, this is called a diamond transport pipe, and use it to route stuff. So if you see it's got a red, a white, and a blue connection. Everything comes in the white connection, and it leads either to the red or the blue. So here's how this works. Anything in this red slot, to put something in there, I just drop the block in there. Like if I wanted to accept chickens, I put a chicken in there. And there you go. Now this thing accepts chickens. So any chickens that come into this pipe will go out the red output. So right now what I'm throwing away, dirt, gravel, cobblestone, and sand. If I decide if I'm running low on cobblestone, which I'm not, I'll just take it out of there, and then all of a sudden what will happen then is the cobblestone will get sent to this end, Down here, if you look down here, you can see down there all those blocks. They're just going down there and they're just getting thrown away. I'll drop them down there and they'll despawn after, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, I put stuff down in there I don't want. And if I want it, it goes out this end. This is just another series of collection pipes, but I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll show you the one though. Okay. Anything I put in this yellow slot will go to this chest. Let me show you what goes in that yellow slot. Copper ore, gold ore, iron ore, silver, tin, and cobblestone. So if you remember over here, I'm rejecting cobblestone. I don't want cobblestone, but if I decide I want to collect it for a while, I'll just remove the cobblestone from here, and all of a sudden it'll make it go to this chest, because this chest is accepting cobblestone. So that's the way I turn that off and on. But anyway, stuff goes in these chests. I can either store it in these chests or remove it from the chest. Right now everything's being removed from the chest, so if I click on a chest, it'll be empty. And so what happens is I have these engines right here. These are called engines, and if I turn them on, they pump stuff out of the chest and into these teleport pipes. Now each one of these teleport pipes has its own frequency, and these are being teleported to different spots inside my house. So if I decide I want to collect stuff in this chest, I'll just turn this switch off. The engine stops, and now stuff won't get pumped out. It'll collect in this chest, fill up the chest. So basically, yeah, that's my sorting machine. Got different categories, like diamonds go in one place, and then the ores all go there. But the next thing I want to show you is this. This is my oil refinery. It's actually kind of small, but it's kind of a new world. I've only been playing this world for a week or two, so I don't really need that big a refinery. But let me show you how this works. Have another one of those teleport pipes up there. This is connected to my oil well. I have an oil well way off in the distance, like 500 blocks away. Oil well pumps oil out of the ground, and then it teleports it to this storage facility right here. There's 6 tanks right now. You can see 3 of them are empty, 3 of them are full. When these tanks get low enough, I'll go to the oil well and turn it on, and it'll fill the tanks back up. Now, when this oil being stored in these tanks, you can see right here this pipe. You can see the oil inside the pipes. It's going into this red block. This is the actual oil refinery block. This is taking the crude oil, that's crude oil, and turned it into fuel, which would be like gasoline or petrol, depending on where you live. But yeah, you can see it's coming out the refinery, going up here and getting stored here. And here's another teleport pipe. Teleport pipes are really handy. Now I have my refinery set to frequency 3, so if I ever want fuel somewhere, all I have to do is put a teleport pipe, set it to frequency 3, and it will receive oil off the refinery. Now this blue stuff right here, this is water. This right here is just like a little emergency water backup storage, so if for some reason I ever lose water production from where it's coming from, these engines will be able to run a little while. Never want to let engines run without water. They will explode, and it's like a creeper blast. If one of these engines was to explode, half this stuff would just get blown up. Alright, here's just the switch to turn the refinery off and on. Well, not turn the refinery off and on, the output of the refinery off and on. Here's the actual refinery. As long as that block's going, this tank will fill up. But if I don't want to send any oil out to the world, then I turn this switch off. I turn that switch off, I'm still making fuel. I'm filling this tank up is what I'm doing. Okay, this building right here, it's a work in progress. The outside of it's pretty much done. I'll probably decorate a little bit, but let me show you the inside. I have 2 water wells. They're out in the ocean. I'd show you these water wells and oil wells, but they're way off. Like the water wells, they're 2,000 blocks away. It's like a 20 or 30 minute walk to get to them. But if you look at the very top, there's 1, 2 teleport pipes. So I have 2 water wells to fill these tanks up. And what happens if the water wells dry up, my engines could explode because they'll quit getting water. But what happens is when the water wells dry up, I've got this water stored, and my engines will be able to run off this storage tank for a while. So that's why I send all my water to here, just to store it, and it gives me a way to monitor my water. My water wells dry up, I'll be able to see it right here before it becomes an issue. But right here's the output for the water facility. I set that to frequency 11. Anything set up to frequency 11 will receive water. Now, I call this the liquid storage facility. I don't call it the water storage facility, because this side over here it's not done, but this side is going to store lava. So you could see this big room has a lot more room to it. I built all this room and I really wasn't motivated to build the rest of it, so kind of like, you know, that goes. You get burnt out on something, you build something else for a while, but this is a work in progress. This side right here will store lava. And what lava is used for is geothermal reactors. You got to generate electricity in this game to run all your machines. And so that's what the lava does. It runs geothermal generators. Now I'm standing on a volcano right here. It's a small volcano. There's two types of volcanoes in this game. There's cone volcanoes and shield volcanoes. This is a shield volcano because it's shaped like a shield. If you could see it from the sky, it'd be round with kind of like a little bit of a bow to it, like a dome, real shallow dome, just like shaped like a round shield. But right here you can see the lava coming out. Now there's actually a shaft down here. This shaft goes all the way down to near the bottom of the world. At the bottom of the world there'll be a huge pool of lava. So what I can do right here is put a well above it, like with a pump, and it'll pump out all the lava. And once I get this lava storage finished, that's one of my projects, I'll finish that, and I can build a lava well, and I'll be collecting all that lava, and then I can teleport it to my geothermal generators, and I'll show you those in a little bit. But this material right here, this is part of the mod. It's called basalt. It's just another type of block. Actually busts pretty easy, but it turns into cobblestone too, and it actually looks pretty cool. Let me place it down. So there's the basalt and there's the regular cobblestone. So you can see they look similar. This one's obviously darker. Another building material that's pretty cool. Now over here is over there, all this is just the quarry and water storage, that kind of thing. But over here we get into the actual housing area where we got our house. Need some torches right there. Okay, this right here, my girlfriend built this. This is just a flax farm. This is flax. If you chop it up, you get flax seeds and use it to make paint. Paint doesn't have much of a use yet, but that's what that's for. The way you get flax seeds to start the farm is the same way you get wheat. The way it works in Tekkit is if you bust up grass, sometimes you get wheat seeds and sometimes you'll get flax seeds. So now here we are getting to the actual housing complex. Now here, this is just a dome skylight roof thingy, but down there you can see part of the house. This out here is actually all the house. It's all underground, or 90% of it. But let me show you a couple of the other buildings first. Now this big thing right here, this big elaborate thing, it's actually the last thing I built. It's just a cactus farm with a small factory connected to it. But there's, as big as this thing is, there's actually only 8 cactus in it. There's 2 floors. There's a floor there and a floor here of cactus. Each floor has 4 cactuses. But what it does, it processes the cactus too. So when the cactus, if you've probably seen how a cactus farm works, so I'm not going to go up there and show you, but the cactus will drop through this chute and it'll fall down here onto this purple pipe. That's called an obsidian transport pipe. Now what that does is any block that falls onto that pipe gets sucked into it, and it'll go through this pipe, through here, or through here, and over into this white block. That's called an electric furnace. It's just like your regular Minecraft furnace, but instead of putting wood and stuff in there, it runs off of electricity. Now these gray blocks, you can't, I'm not going to go up, well, I guess I could. I'll go up here and show them to you. I'll come out here. There we go. We got a glass roof here. These four things here are solar panels. Now these black things right here that I'm actually standing on right now, that's copper wire. So this wire connects these four solar panels to this brown block. This brown block is called a battery box. It's storing the electricity that was generated. So during the day, this battery gets charged. At night, everything runs off the battery. So now there's the battery. I'm pointing at it. It comes down this copper wire and goes down here and powers up the electric oven or furnace. Now, if you take cactus and put it in a furnace, you get cactus green out of it. So that's what this first step does. It produces cactus green, and from there it goes to here, and this is called an automatic crafting table. And what happens here is anything you put in here will get, you put the template for your recipe, whatever you want to make here, and once this machine gets all the building materials, it will produce it. So it'll take this cactus green and turn it into pipe waterproof. So the whole purpose of this whole building is to fill this chest up with pipe waterproof. So whenever I'm making water pipe, by say waterproof pipe, it'll transport water, lava, and oil and fuel. So if I ever want to build some pipe, I come in here, collect a pipe waterproof, and then that's all I got to do from now on. But yeah, this is kind of pimped it out. It's Minecraft, so you want your stuff to look kind of neat. But the whole big building, the whole purpose of it is just to make that pipe waterproofing. Now this building here, I'm pretty much kind of done with. I might pimp it out some more. I kind of think it actually looks kind of plain. But by the way, if you see this block, this is just cobblestone. One of the things you could do with the Tekkit is split blocks up, slice them up into pieces. And so I can make this cool cobblestone trim. Here's another thing. If you look at this, this is glass, but it's reinforced glass. It's just another recipe. You take regular glass and combine it with like some kind of alloy. I forget what it's called, but it makes reinforced glass. And this stuff's very tough. It's almost as hard as obsidian, if not as hard as obsidian. So very, very hard to break. But this room right here is actually just the quarry power generation room. If you remember, I showed you the quarry. I told you it run off electricity. The electricity was being generated somewhere else. This is it. By the way, there's different types of electricity in this game. This is called MJ electricity. It's short for Minecraft joules. But yeah, there's two engines. That's this white thing right here with the pistons. That's the combustion engine. It runs off fuel. Let me explain to you a little bit how this works. Here's a teleport pipe. If I click on it, frequency is set to 3. If you remember, that's the frequency for the refinery. So the refinery is pumping oil or pumping fuel into this tank and into this tank. You can see it flowing. Now these tanks, if you look at them, they're connected to the engine. This thing's not as complicated as it looks. So that's how the fuel works. It comes in this pipe, goes into this tank, and from this tank it goes to here, this engine. Now if I right click the engine, it'll show you the fuel level here on the left and the water level. The water's just used for cooling. If it runs out of water, it will explode, and when this thing explodes, this engine will destroy this engine. That's how big of the blast radius. It's pretty big. It's worse, probably a little worse than the creeper blast. Like if that thing was to explode, you'll see random blocks like down here missing. So like when this thing explodes, it's going to throw blocks everywhere. It'll knock holes in the walls all over this building if one of those things explodes. It's a very bad thing. Now here's something new for Tekkit. This is called red alloy wiring. It's basically still just redstone wiring, but it's better. You can see it first of all, it just looks better, but secondly, regular redstone has a range of like 15 or 16 blocks. So every 15 or 16 blocks you have to put a repeater. Well, this stuff has a range of 255 blocks. So no more of that repeater crap. No more elaborate ways to figure out how to move vertically. If you look here, this stuff can actually go vertical. If I was to tear this down, actually let me do that. I'll show you. This is something you can't do with regular redstone. But I can place this here, here, here. You can see I don't no more of that. You see people using torches and wiring and big elaborate stuff to get a signal to go vertically. You don't have to do that with Tekkit. You build this wire right here. It looks cooler. It doesn't look like red gunpowder. It actually looks more like wiring. But yeah, that's pretty nifty. Now, this switch right here, by the way, just turns off the water pumps. I showed you how the fuel works. The water works the same way. You have water coming in here from the water storage, and it splits, goes to this tank and to this tank. And if you look on the engines, here we go. So if you look at the engine, fuel comes in this side, water comes in this side. Same thing over here. Fuel comes in this side, water comes in this side. These things are actually mirror images of each other. But I've got two wires. One wire just turns these engines off and on. So now that basically kills power to the quarry, so the quarry won't run. If I want to run the quarry, I turn the switch on. Now, if for some reason I'm not running to run the quarry, I can go ahead and turn the water pumps off, and that will keep water from going in the engines. I really don't think that switch is necessary, but it was kind of cool, so I went ahead and built it. Now I do have enough room over here probably to duplicate this setup and build it on this side and maybe to power something else, but that's as far as I've gotten so far. That's all I need right now. Now here's a funny story. If you see that, that's a marble column. If I come over here, I've got it covered up now, but there used to be a cave down here. Well, I just got it covered up, but there is a cave down there, and there was a ton of marble there. So I used to put that pillar there so that I would know where it was at. Let me show you about where our spawn point was. Our spawn point was about right here, and this whole area was covered with trees. And so I got lost down there, and I came out right there, and there was a lot of marble. There's actually a whole cave. We built our house in the cave, but the cave complex is huge. There's one entrance right there where the house is actually on top of an entrance. And right here, that was another entrance. But anyway, I built the marble column just to mark where that particular place was, because first starting off, marble was kind of cool and wanted to know how to get back to it, but that's what that's for. Now here's another thing. This is pretty cool. If you look at the pumpkin, it's actually like a sign. The way you do that is you can just cut blocks up in the mod. So I cut it up, made a sign out of it, and what this does is the sign mark in the pumpkin farm. It's our pumpkin farm right there. And finally, here we are getting to the house. This is just a sculpture I built. Just kind of bored, built that. I think it looks cool. But I don't remember if I told you this or not. But anyway, this is marble blocks right here. You can take marble and turn it into blocks. If you do, that's what it looks like. Now, as you can see here, I've cut up some more wood, make some trim with it. Makes really good trim. I put trim up here too along this roof. Now let me show you down here what this leads to. This is my power production facility. Now these blue things right here, those are solar panels. I only have 4 of them, but it's deceptive. These right here, if you look right here, well, it doesn't say, but these produce 1 energy unit per turn. This is a different type of electricity. You had MJ, that's what I showed you the machines produced. Well, solar panels produce what's just called EU, which I guess is energy units or electricity units, but it's a different mod within the game. All the mods work together. Sometimes use one or the other, depending on the circumstances. But anyway, these right here generate 1 EU apiece. These right here are just called solar panels. Now, if I come down here, these two things are called medium voltage solar arrays. These things generate 64 EU per turn. So these two right here put out 64 times as much power as those two. But yeah, anyway, sorry that was a little technical. But here's geothermal generators. I have 5 of them. Now, right now they're not producing anything. I have to build the lava. I got to get the lava production up before those will do anything. Now these blocks down here, you see 3 of them. I won't get into detail on them, but these 2 right here are transformers. This one right here is the giant battery box. I showed you battery box earlier. The battery box I showed you a while ago stores like 40,000 energy, because they're not doing nothing. They're just running that little oven. That oven only runs once every 2 or 3 or 5 minutes. This thing right here stores 10 million energy units, and this thing's called MFSU. It's the best battery box in the game, at least as far as I know of. But this is what my house runs off of. My house has a lot more machinery in it. So we're going to go inside the house proper now. Now, like I said, when we first started, we spawned right here, and there was a cave right here. We started exploring it. So kind of the way it worked is you start up a world. First thing you do is get a little wood, and after you get some wood, you go down to the cave. Well, this is the cave we went down into. We built a very small little house in the cave, and as time went on, I just turned it into a house. This was all cave once upon a time. Now let me show you some more of these cool things you can do. Now if you look right there where my crosshairs are pointing, that's actually birch wood. But if you're looking down here, this is, I don't know what kind of mahogany or whatever it is, but I can make paneling out of this, and I just paneled the bottom of it. So if you can see, I mixed and matched the 2 different colors. And right here you can see this is a column. This is another thing you can make by cutting blocks up. You notice that's not the size of a regular column. It's bigger than a fence post, but it's smaller than a whole block plank. So this is some of the cool things you can do by cutting stuff up. Now next let me show you down here. Here you can see I just trimmed it all out. Here's some more of the marble brick. But let me show you this room right here. Now this room right here, I haven't done anything with it yet, but here's why I'm showing you this room. Watch me flip this light switch. If you've got lights in this game, you can actually make different color of lights. This is just white. Unfortunately, with a light, it won't produce different colors of lights. It'll just look whatever, like it'll look red or whatever. So if I make like a red light, it'll look red, but it'll still throw out white light. So let me see if I can flip it off and show you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I probably flipped that thing like 20 times when I first built it. Just so proud of it. The next thing I'm going to show you is our chicken farm. Now see, here we're getting an actual cave. This was part of the cave. When we made the house up there, this is the doorway leading out, and we've gradually pimped it out over time. This is, as you can see, it's just a cave in here. But down here is the chicken farm. I better eat something real quick. Okay. We got a couple guys trying to escape, looks like. Yeah, but down here, this is where the chickens are producing eggs, and they go down the chute in the middle. And the eggs actually fall out right here, and they're getting sucked up in the obsidian pipe. You can see an egg right there moving through the system. And the eggs get stored in this chest right here. You can see right now the chest is full. You can't see it, but the way it's set up is once the chest is full, the eggs just get thrown away into a hole. So now once the eggs are there, I can turn on this machine. There's 2 switches here. Let me show you first of all where these eggs go. I'll show you one of the rooms. Okay, we got this room here. This is called a slaughter room. There's 2 slaughter rooms. So what happens is you turn the machine on right here, and you have 2 slaughter rooms. This switch right here just determines which room the eggs go to. So if the wire's lit, the eggs go to room 1. If the wire's off, the eggs go to room 2. This is room 2 over here. Got them labeled. Slaughter room 2. I thought I turned that on. There we go. So it's going to take it a minute, but there we go. Let's keep watching. There we go. So now see what's happening. Let me show you the way this works. Is when I flip that switch, it turns this engine on. This engine pumps eggs out of this chest. They go up to here, and they go inside this white pipe. That's called an iron pipe. It's like a valve. You can control it with a redstone, and what it does is you flip the switch one way, it sends the eggs this way into room 2. Flip the other way, it goes into room 1. This is room 1 over here. But you hear that clicking noise. I've got a timer. You can see the wire flash. It's sending pulses to the dispenser, kicking out the eggs. The eggs hit this wall. Sometimes they get turned into chicken, sometimes they don't. But what you do is you flip the machine on and you run it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and you come back in 10 or 15 minutes, you got a room full of chickens. You turn the machine off. There you go. Turn the machine off, leave, you come back another 10 or 15 minutes or however long, and you got a room full of grown chickens. You go in here, you close the door. There's a gate right here. You open the gate, go in there and slaughter them all. The reason you build this gate here is because if this thing was filled with chickens, as soon as you open this gate, they're all going to flood out into here, and you don't want them flooding out all over the house. So that's why you build this. It's like kind of like an airlock. You make sure one's closed before you open the other. But anyway, you go down there and you slaughter all the chickens. You'll end up with a stack of chickens, and we store the chickens in here. Here's raw ones, here's cooked ones. You can see we have plenty of chicken. We just come down here and do this occasionally. But you have a furnace right here. Let me show you how quick this will cook them. So it's pretty fast. This is an upgraded electric furnace. I actually got one a little bit faster than this. I'll show you that too. This one works fine. We've got a main one in the house where I do all my crafting. This game has, first of all, let me show you that actually. This is a cool feature. Have you ever played Minecraft? You want to know the recipe of something, you end up going to the Minecraft wiki. It gets very tedious. Well, in this game, in the Tekkit mod pack, all the recipes are automatically here for you. So all you want to do, like you want to look up diamond pickaxe, you type in diamond. You don't actually got to type in the whole thing. There you go. You got diamond pillar and diamond pickaxe. So you click there and it'll show you the recipe for it. So if you're no longer looking on the internet for recipes. But let me show you something here pretty cool. Give you an idea of the scale of this game. Okay, there's 7 blocks across, 10 blocks down. There's a grand total of 70 blocks right here. And there's 44 pages. So whatever 44 times 70 is, pretty big number. That's how many blocks are in this game. So it's a massive mod. And as a matter of fact, let me show you a couple more cool things. You got a diamond drill and a chainsaw. So it's a couple of the cool things you can build. You also build bronze armor. It's better than iron, not quite as good as diamonds, but it's pretty cool. Now, this diamond drill, this replaces the diamond pickaxe and the diamond shovel. So you don't have to carry those around. You just carry around a diamond drill. Now the cool thing about them too is they never break. What they do is they run off electricity. That's what this green bar is for now. If this bar goes to all the way down, you're just out of electricity and you got to recharge it. There's a bench where you can recharge it. Let me show you that. That's down over here. Now here's my workshop. I kind of like it. It's kind of got a mad scientist feel to it, but it's pretty small, but it's real compact. I've got, like you see this machine. Most of the time you see machines, people got them spread out pretty good. What happened here is when I built this workshop, you start off with just 2 or 3 machines. This room was fine, but I kept reading tutorials on how to do things, and so I kept adding and adding to this machine. And this is my ore processor, and it makes some pretty smart decisions. Like, for example, if you feed something in there, like say you put a piece of chicken in there, it's smart enough not to send the chicken through the machine. It'll reject it, put it in this chest. This is the reject chest. And I can also program it too. There's 2 machines here. There's one right here, it's called the macerator, and then you got another electric furnace. Some machines want to go through, some blocks you need to send them through both machines. Some blocks you send them through one or the other. Well, this machine is smart enough to figure out where everything needs to go, and I can actually reprogram it on the fly to do specialty orders too. But anyway, if you remember seeing the sorting machine, there is a teleport pipe. You can't see it. I believe there it is. It's in the floor right there. But it's teleporting stuff from the sorting machine. Remember that ore chest I showed you? It goes into this chest. And this is the input for the machine. And over here is the reject chest. Anything the ore processor can't handle, it goes in there. And over here is the output. All the stuff that gets quarried, all the ores, they end up in this room. I don't have to do anything. As long as I got power to that quarry, these chests will automatically fill up. So I got one for iron, one for tin, one for copper, one for gold, silver. There's no silver block, so that's why you don't see a block there. Here you go. You got glass. This machine, this ore processor, it'll make this glass. If you feed cobblestone into the ore processor, it'll come out as glass. And then here's just a chest for miscellaneous. Now I can make stone in the ore processor too. All I have to do is reprogram it slightly, and what it does, it sends the cobblestone into the furnace and bypasses the macerator. But all this stuff's pretty high voltage. It's not the basic machines like these things here. These things are, let me show you how fast this microwave oven is. I'm going to put this, okay, there's 53 chicken. Let's see how fast it does it. So this is a highly upgraded machine right here. And you actually can upgrade them more. I'll have to upgrade the power to it before I can do it, but there we go. I think did a whole stack of chicken, 53 chicken just like that. But these things are upgraded. Here you can upgrade your machines here. These are called overclockers. There's 9 of them in there. Yeah, I could actually get 10 or 11 in there, but it kind of drains the battery, so I don't do it too much. Now here's a transformer upgrade. What this thing does, it allows the machine to run off a higher voltage, and it's energy storage upgrades. We won't get into that. Here's the third machine. It's called an extractor. If I put rubber wood in there, it'll come out as rubber. Now this machine is slightly automated too, so if rubber, I don't think I have any. Not rubber, rubber wood, maybe. Let me see. This chest right here is just for our wood stuff. No, I don't have any, but if I was to put rubber wood up in this chest, it automatically gets processed. So it'll come through down this pipe, going here. It'll get extracted. There's a pipe running under the floor and up through here and into this chest. This is the extractor output. So if you look in there, anything that needs to get extracted, like in quantity, you just put it in there. Over here is our bedroom. Nothing special, just kind of small. Got a couple beds, couple chests, couple plants, cool looking ceiling. Now I like sunroofs, but I kind of get elaborate with them. And you can see that's some of the cool stuff you can do by chopping up blocks. I got a reinforced glass ceiling. Let me see what else I was going to show you. That may be about it. Oh, no, here's one more room. Now all these machines run off electricity, but you hadn't really seen any of the wiring for it. I showed you the solar plant earlier where I made the electricity. Well, the electricity comes down the solar plant. If you had x-ray vision, it would be actually right there, right through the ceiling. But it comes down this pipe right here, and if you look, it runs into this block right here. And from that block, no, I'm sorry. It comes, look at the pipe I'm looking at right now. That's where it comes down through. It comes down there and it splits. It goes into this white block, this white block, and this white block. These are called MFEs. They're battery boxes too. They're like a medium. I showed you the battery box on the cactus farm. I showed you the MFSU at the solar plant, and this is called the MFE. It's like an in-between. I don't have no idea what that stands for, but these are the medium grade ones. But these things, three things right here, store electricity, and you can see the wiring. That's what this stuff right here is wiring, and this stuff right here is wiring. It's going through various stages of the house. You can see this one right here. This one's actually running up through the ceiling. This one right here, see it goes straight up. I think it goes straight up across here a little bit, but what it does, it actually goes through the ceiling right here. And if I was to knock this wall out, you would see a little bit of more of electrical stuff back there. But it's feeding the electricity to the chicken farm and to these machines right here. There's also a machine down here called a canning machine. I never used it too much. You just hadn't had a need to yet. Oh, here's the recharge bench. If I ever want to recharge something, like say this battery pack was empty, I could put it in here, take this one out. I don't remember if I showed you that, but let me show you this. Okay, I told you these bars right here, this is the charge level. If they run out of electricity, they quit working. And so what you can do is you can take them and stick them in here, and they would get charged up over time, but that's not the way we do it. We use something called battery packs. Now what these battery packs do, they store a lot of electricity, but you put them in place of your shirt, and it's like a backpack with batteries on it. And your machines will, your chainsaw and your diamond drill will draw power from this. And we usually walk around with at least two of them. So what happens is when you're out caving or something and you run out of electricity, you take this off, swap the other one in, and then when you get back to the house, you swap them out here. So there you go. So you can charge up your stuff. Now let me show you some of the other stuff you build. Like there's a lot of in-between recipes like diamond gears. Diamond gears are just used to build other stuff like pumps and stuff, or oil refinery blocks, but these are all building materials. Like you got electronic circuits you got to make, advanced circuits, slime balls, wrenches, voltmeters, all different kinds of things, coal dust. But like I said earlier, it's like 1,500 or 2,000 different recipes to the game. Now I showed you the first chest at the sorting machine. All the ores go to here. We'll also have chests around the house. I'll just show you one for example. Like for example, gems. All my gems go in here. At the sorting machine, it automatically teleports stuff to here. Now if I look at the floor, it's hard to see. Yeah, you can see it in the back right there, barely. Yeah, there's a pipe right there. And basically what it's doing is teleporting stuff to this chest. But here's where we store our rubies, emeralds, sapphires, and our diamonds. And so whenever you want a diamond, you just come up here, grab it out of the chest. And there you go. So we've got that set up automated. Different ones are automated. Marble's automated, so anytime we get marble, as you can see, we've got tons of marble. So we'll get to the point eventually we'll tell the sorting machine to throw away marble, and then when we get low again, we'll turn it back on to where it'll accept it. So that's basically it. If you never tried Tekkit, like I said, I'll put a link to it in the description. If you like Minecraft, this is 100 times better than plain Jane Minecraft. And if you're already familiar with Tekkit, it was a cool tour of my house. But I may do more videos in the future of this, just showing you updates to my house. I actually don't play this too much anymore. I played it for like a week or so. I was really hooked on it, maybe 2 weeks, but I'm just taking a break from it. I was really hooked on it for a week or two, and I kind of burned myself out on it. But next time I get something cool going, like I may get the lava production going. I'll do an update video or something. But anyways, Grumpy Gamer, and this is my tour of my Tekkit world. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.